of China by 4th century CE. And the influence of Dharma traditions is not just religious or philosophical, but also influenced Chinese arts, Chinese novels. A very famous Chinese novel is just based on Hindu stories and also the medicine and even Chinese grammar. A recent research demonstrated that by translating Buddhist scriptures, the Chinese language was changed. It's a really fascinating research, also quite controversial. Anyway, there's some resistance, or there's some even combating resistance. So there was a philosopher, his name is Han Yu, Han Dynasty, Confucian Han Dynasty, and he wrote, let us secularize Buddhist monks and Taoists. It's not just against Buddhism, also against Taoism, because he's Confucian, okay? And Taoist priests turn Buddhist monasteries and Taoist temples into common residences and burn Buddhist scriptures and Taoist classics. So, this was written in fundamental Tao. It's a kind of fundamentalist, I believe. But what prevailed in China was not this kind of thing, but it's peace. And in the whole imperial period, no prolonged persecutions or large-scale religious wars. So I showed a picture, maybe not big enough. There's if you see it in the close distance, you may find there are 3 persons. But the 3 persons become 1 person. So there's in the left, this is perhaps Confucian, and the right, this is the Taoist, and the person in the middle is a Buddhist. But then the 3 persons become 1 person. So this is a kind of mixed culture or religion. And a typical life in traditional China for a common Chinese person, is like that. So a researcher, Sanga, wrote that as early as 4th century, 9/10 90% of the Chinese people were Buddhist. He's right. But it's not exclusive, because 90% of Chinese were also Confucians. So in China, you can be a Buddhist and a Confucian at the same time. So, their life is to study Confucian classics. But they visit Buddhist monasteries for blessing, and inviting Taoist priests for driving away the so-called evil spirit. So this is normal in China. And there are many reasons for peaceful acceptance of Buddhism. So, for some, already well studied, so I don't want to repeat those things, but I just want to say something maybe they need to pay more attention to. That is the so-called Ge method make Buddhism easier for Chinese to understand, and I'll focus on that. Okay, what is Ge? This is a way of translating Sanskrit or Pali terms into Chinese. Ge, so the meaning of Ge is a table, box, or lines. Actually, this is a 2-column table, according to some researchers, and Yi means meaning. So the matching Sanskrit terms with close in meaning Chinese terms. And so this is actually a reference list used in translating Buddhist scriptures into Chinese, said to be used in the 3rd century and 4th century CE. It's a kind of standard lexicon or word list for the translators. And so I just want to give you some striking samples. For example, Nirvana, was translated as non-action of Taoism, Wu-wei, non-action. And Bodhisattva, translated as sage, the Confucian sage. and 5 aggregates to translate to 5 elements of Confucianism. So the criticism is obvious. Okay, this is a pseudo-Buddhism. So people did not really understand Buddhism. So without expert, good in both Sanskrit and literary Chinese, so the donkey, so there's some problem. Yesterday I already heard the professor saying that. And borrowing words from Taoism and Confucianism misled people and created pseudo-Buddhism. And mainly it's a Buddhist in name, Taoist in reality, in nature. Okay, so with better understanding in later times, the Geyi approach was abandoned. But new development was that American professor Victor Miller has challenged this common opinion, argued that no such standard list had ever existed. But yeah, I believe Professor Miller is right. Although a simple list may have never existed, the borrowing approach has long been practiced, not only for translation, but also for general discussion. So the conscious-only school of Chinese Buddhism, represented by Xuanzang, who was an Lanka University visiting scholar and guest professor, made the list, if any, Geyi thing. But for other schools, this method was widely used. So, in border definition of Geyi, the borrowing concept from the culture system of the target readers to explain a theory, alien to the readers. So now I just want to give you an example of those kind of discussion. So as the master moves answer to people overwhelmed by the newly introduced Buddhism. Okay, this is a defense of Buddhism, and he said Buddha is a little similar to such Confucian figures as the literary 3 kings and 5 emperors. He is the root of the Tao, and pay attention to listen, very interesting, and is the leader of all the spiritual beings. Buddha implies enlightenment. Therefore, he can change his physical form freely. He is both existent and non-existent, both big and small in terms of size, both round and square in terms of shape, both old and young in terms of age. He is both visible and invisible. He will not get burned in fire, not get caught when stabbing in a knife, not get stained in dirt, not get harmed in disaster. When he wants to move, he will fly. When he wants to stay, he will shine. Okay? So this is a very interesting quotation. And then Sun Zhao, a very famous Chinese Buddhist philosopher, and he treated on Niharika. So there are a lot of backgrounds, so I have no time to say, just want to make this quotation. So therefore we know that things are not real, and it has been long for them to have their fake names. This explains why the Perfect Accomplishment Sutra maintains that names are just artificially applied to things, and Master Zhuang uses the metaphor of attribution and horses. So this quotation, right, and Taoist Master Zhuang now is said to be comparable to Sutra. So that is really striking, okay? And Zhiyi, a great Chinese monk, established Tiantai, and used a lot of Confucian terms. So there's a dilemma actually, philosophically and for linguistics it's also difficult, for the borrowing existing philosophical and religious concepts. How to translate, for example, how to translate Dharma. And translate Dao, okay, or Fa means law in Chinese, or just Da Mo is a transliteration. And, but the problem is Geyi acceptable or even valuable? Okay, scholars often look down upon this approach, not just a matter of expediency. In my opinion, it's a fundamental issue of comparative philosophy, and criticism often based on oversimplification. So I believe, this method have many positive aspects. So the first is obvious, make people easy to accept. not overwhelm. And the second positive aspect is this approach may serve as a reminder that some good ideas, from fundamental spiritual values to some detailed regulations, are possible, shared by more than one religion or civilization. Okay, and the third positive aspect is to introduce the introduction of the alien culture is not a passive process of learning, but both sides will learn something, and so very interestingly, I read this book, Tao Pencha. And the fourth and last positive aspect is use this same or similar terms may produce easier inspiration to the thinkers of the operational system to learn the alien system and develop their own system. Actually, the new Confucian and the Chinese scholars learned a lot from Buddhists to shape their own philosophy and their institution. So this is a kind of openness, and this openness is quite different from Catholic story. That is, Ritchie and other Catholic missionaries actually use the same method, just the last sentence, and the same method, but they were denied by the Vatican. But in China, this method was actually supported by most of the Buddhist thinkers. They believe this is good, this is not bad. I think that this kind of translation or interpretation is quite meaningful, it's valuable, but because of the time limit, I don't have time to make more elaborations and explanations, but hopefully we can have some time to discuss later. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yu, for presenting such an informative and interesting paper. Sorry to interrupt you. मैं यहाँ जितने भी शोध पत्र पढ़े गए हैं, उनके लिए धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ, जिन्होंने शोध पत्र पढ़े हैं. I am thankful on behalf of your organizing committee. I am thankful to all of you who have presented such informative and thought-provoking paper. That there is a limit because of that we didn't enjoy the full paper. मैं यहाँ श्रोता जो उपस्थित हुए हैं, उनको भी बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ. धन्यवाद इस अर्थ में कि आप यहाँ आए और आपने जो बिंदुओं को सुना है, स्वाभाविक है कि आप इस पर आगे विचार करेंगे और अगले वर्ष हमें लगता है कि अधिक समय दिया जाना चाहिए या कार्यशालाएं या वर्कशॉप होना चाहिए जहां हम पेपर को क्लासिफाई कर सकें और उसके आधार पर वर्कशॉप होने पर हम किसी कंक्लूजन पर पहुंच सकते हैं. इसका कुछ फॉलोअप तैयार करने के लिए वह जरूरी है. तो आप सबको भी धन्यवाद और आपने जो पेपर प्रेजेंट किए उन सबको धन्यवाद दे रहे हैं. और इसके साथ ही मैं इसके समाप्ति की घोषणा करना चाहती हूँ.
वो डिस्कस होते हैं